What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, click that subscription button right down below and turn on that notification bell so that you could be notified anytime I upload a new video. It's the girl and Alright, let's get straight into the video. If you guys checked out my previous video when I was talking about applying to the Salvation Army Starlight Camp, I think I probably did mention it on TikTok that I was going to come and tell you guys what happens next after you apply, you do your interview, and you get accepted. What is the process? I know that a lot of you may be new to the process and may need some help or some assistance. So I am here to assist you today. I'm going to walk you through the entire form, and I'm also going to just share with you information that I feel like would be helpful for you guys. So make sure you guys watch the video all the way to the end because it's something that you guys will need to hear. I also want to put it out there that if you're still interested in applying to camp, you still have the opportunity to. There are two other camps that are hiring, which is Camp Long Point as well as Camp Wonderland. I'm going to leave it on the screen here so you guys could definitely apply to those camp. It's basically the same process when it comes down to like signing up. I don't think I made a video of how to sign up, but it's pretty easy. You create an account, make sure you answer truthfully to whatever questions that they ask you guys, and wait on them to contact you after. But in today's video is strictly about Iena. Iena is one of the cheapest agencies out there. The processing fee, or the DS 2019 fee, is $475 US, and of course you are responsible to pay for your own plane ticket, and you're also responsible to pay for your visa appointment. So just bear these three things in mind. One, you have to pay $475 US. Two, you have to pay for your visa appointment, and three, you have to pay your flight or your airfare to camp, and of course back home. What happens next now after you've gotten an interview and stuff and you got accepted? They're going to send you guys an acceptance letter as well as 2 PDF files. I think you're supposed to sign the work and conduct agreement form and send it back to them. You're gonna have to do a lot of scanning, so let me just warn you guys right now, you guys could probably download like a scanner app on your phone, because you're gonna have to do a lot of scanning and signing as well. You're going to send it back to the camp. Now, once you send that back to the camp, I would suggest you guys to start your Iena process, which is the agency. The agency helps you to get your visa. They're going to send you a paper that you're going to take to the U.S. Embassy. You're going to sign and take it to the U.S. Embassy on the day of your appointment. Now, things that you should know before signing up for the Iena: you are going to need to give them a picture of your passport. So make sure that your passport is valid. Make sure that if you are a student, make sure you have like a student letter to say, okay, well, so-and-so attends the so-and-so school. Or you could also download the status letter that is on the form there. But you will need to get that signed. You will need to do a police background check. So if I were you, I would start that process one time just to go in and get that background check, because you know that it takes a little while for them to give it back to you. I'm not sure how much it costs over your country or in your country. Here in Grenada, it's $60 for a police record. I would say work on your police record early as possible. I will be showing you guys like the form as we go along, because I will be doing like a complete profile just to show you guys what we need to do or what you need to do. So yes, just be mindful of that. As I said, watch to the end so that I'll be able to tell you guys what you guys should take to the embassy, how to prepare for the embassy, and all of that. So let's get started into the whole application process, and I'll see you guys shortly. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is type in iena.org. Once you reach on the website, you're going to see apply now. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to scroll down and you're going to click on the part that says International Summer Camp Staff Program. Once you reach there, you're going to go down and you're going to select a direct placement program, which is right here. All right, so basically, you're just gonna fill out your application. You're gonna write your name, your last name, your email address, your password, and then continue. Once you continue, you're gonna begin. So you're gonna put your where you live. You're gonna put your nationality. You're gonna put yes for this one, of course. How did you hear about us? You could choose friend, or you could just say others and put the Salvation Army Starlight Camp, whatever. Choose a t-shirt size. You're going to put no for this one because you don't have a recruiter, and then submit. Once you submit, you start this part, which you're going to put the Salvation Army Starlight Camp. The camp director is Antonio Rosamelia. Camp email, you're going to put the person who hired you, and more likely that's going to be Haley. So you're going to put her email, and then you're going to put the phone number, which is right here. And then you are applying as a camp counselor, and you are a direct placement applicant. All right, continue with this part again, and then this is your personal information. You're going to write your personal information here. Add your passport, your middle name, your nationality, your date of birth, your gender, and all those stuff. Alright, and for this part, the earliest date available to work, you can put from June 1st to the 31st of August. It's really up to you. If you have a driver's license, you can put yes, it really doesn't matter, but you can still select it. The nickname and Skype name doesn't matter, but for telephone number, put the same as your mobile number. And then, of course, you're going to put your social media links, guys. Make sure you put all your links right there. It's very important to have those. And then put your permanent address, and if your permanent address is the same as your mailing address, make sure to include that in the bottom. As I said before, please be careful with this section and this form in general, because if you make a mistake and they need to send you back a form, you will have to pay an additional fee. If you have a permanent address but your mailing address is different, please put the correct mailing address. So if you know that where you live might be a little bit difficult to find, put an address that someone, like for a family member or a friend that you could send the document to. Also, PO box are not allowed, so don't try putting your PO box because you won't get it. So put probably your aunt, your uncle, whatever address, pick it up from there, but make sure that is the correct address, because if not, you won't be able to get your DS 2019 form, and you will have to pay an additional fee to resend a document. Also, it's no problem if you put your permanent address as your original address and your mailing address as someone else's address. So don't mind that. Don't worry about that. It's not a problem. Just do it. Then you're gonna click on next. Camp information. They have camp information there. That's good. Submit. Alright, and then we're going to move to education. Now, if you're a full-time student, just click yes. If no, you put no, and then continue to your working experience. But we're going to go ahead and fill out the form as we're students. So you choose a category from there. Then you put the university name, you put the course or the major, the year you started, the month and year you started, and the month and year you ended, or the month and year you're expected to finish. And then you put your summer breaks or summer holiday dates and submit the form. Alright, so moving on to work experience. Are you currently a full-time employment? Yes or no? Have you worked at US before? You just basically just answer the questions that they ask you there. It's pretty simple. For this part, if you're a new applicant, it should be 0 for both of them, and you shouldn't really have anything there. Alright. Then this part is very important, guys. It has to be 250 characters. So make sure you tell them about yourself and your family and your interests. Be detailed about it. And then what do you think you can contribute to the camp? Be honest as well. It's very important to be honest. All right, then we move on to the medical section. Of course, it's self-explanatory. Just fill out the form, answer the questions. They're going to ask you about tattoos and piercing. Make sure to be honest about that as well, and then submit the form. Alright, for references, you're going to need 2 references. It has to be a pastor, a teacher, or something else, but it has to be one of the above. When it comes down to this section here, you're going to upload all of these things that they ask you for. When it comes down to proof of student status, if you want to use this one, you could go ahead and use this, or you could just get a letter from your school, which can also be used to take in to the embassy. Either one works, but I would say to get the letter instead. All right, almost there. Once we're finished with that, we're going to, oh, also guys, when it comes down to your pictures, make sure it's in one of these formats. And last but not least, your emergency contact, make sure to follow that part. Once you finish, you're going to submit application, and that's where you're going to pay your 475 US dollars. I forgot to mention that they no longer use Visa debit cards. Now you have to use your credit card. So please bear that in mind. Hope that that video was informative. Now moving on to the important part of this video, which is how to prepare for your US Embassy appointment. Now bear in mind that not because the camp hired you means that you will 100% get your visa. Let me just put that out there to help you guys with preparing for it, because sometimes we feel like, okay, well, this is the paper, that's all I'm going to go with, and that's not how it works. All right, so first thing first, if you are a student, all right, I would advise you, because it always depends on who you go to. Because when I went in for my J1 visa and my B1 visa, I went in for 2 visas at once. And when I went in for my visa, they did not ask me for all of those stuff that I brought, but it was also important for me to have them just in case they wanted it. The only thing they asked me for was to show proof of who will be paying for my tickets and who will be maintaining me and stuff like that. So I gave them the bank statement, and that was it. I only gave them one bank statement, and that was it, right? But it might not be the same for you. You might need to show more. So if you're a student, I would advise you guys to get a student letter, a status letter from your school stating that you are currently enrolled in your school, what year you started, what year it's going to finish, and basically just ask them to give you a letter to take to the embassy, because they will probably ask them to please consider you or stuff like that, right? So make sure you have that. If you are paying for your own flight, because of course we have university students, we have high school students, I'm not sure what your pocket looks like or stuff like that, but if you are paying for it, make sure you have a bank statement for yourself. And I would say make sure you have a little money, because don't go with a bank statement that only have $500 in it. Make sure you save and put some money in your account so that you could have a good amount of money to show that, hey, I'm going to be using this to pay my flights, or I'm going to be using that to do this, whatever. You have enough money to take you through the little trip that you're going on, right? If somebody else is paying for you, like if your parents are paying for you and stuff, get their bank statements. I would say to get both bank statements, but if you're only living with your mother or your father, you could get either one and bring it on the day of your appointment. Status letter and your bank statements. If you have anything that could tie you to the country, whether it might be well, for students, I think it's going to be easier, because these two things can work. Like a bank statement to show who's going to be responsible for your flight, and your status letter. Now, if you're working, whether it might be you're self-employed or you have a job like a teacher, and you have the time to go, you'll get that time off to go, then you will also need a bank statement. I would recommend you guys to get a letter from the school that you're working at, just to say that you are a teacher working there, blah blah blah. And I would also tell you guys to bring, if you have like a business, or if you have anything that ties you to your country, bring them. If you have a land paper, if you have anything to say, okay, well, so and so, this is my land, this is my business, this is my something, anything that could tie you to the country, bring it. Again, you may not need it, but still bring it. I also want to say, when you go into the embassy, or to the agent, when you go into the embassy, try not to act a little nervous, try not to act giddy-headed, try not to act like you don't know what you're about. Act like you have your head on your body, and act like you know what you're about. Like you know exactly, listen, I came here to get this, and this is how I'm going to go about it. Don't act like you don't know what you're talking about. And especially when it comes down to going in front of the counselor, try not to keep or if they ask you how long you plan to stay in the US, don't say I think you're supposed to stay June to August. I think somewhere. No, be confident. I'll be staying in the US and from June 20 something to the August 20 something. Well, whatever. Just be confident. Be sure of what you're saying. Don't look like you don't know what you're about, because then you might not get a visa. I would also tell you guys too, so just in case, walk with the camp address, the email address, the address, as in the address. Walk with their telephone number and someone name. So for example, if Haley hired you or David hired you, walk with their email address or the names as well, just to get it, just in case they need the camp information. Even though they're going to have the camp information on the paper, you walk with it for yourself too, just in case they might need to get an answer from you on whatever. If they ask you guys if you have family member in the US, please be honest. Don't lie, because when you lie on these things, they will definitely catch up on you. So try your best not to lie, because one, it's not worth it. Two, you're only making it worse for yourself. Be as honest. If you have family members, yes you do. And if they're going to ask you who, make sure you have those family members' email address as well, just in case, because most times they ask you guys for your family members in the US address and stuff like that. So make sure you have those information to give them if they ask you for that information as well. Just be confident in your answers. Just know what you're about, basically. So basically, that's it. I would say those are some of the few things that I would advise you guys to consider and to remember. If you guys have any other questions about embassy, or if you have any other question in general, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will answer them for you guys. I think I covered everything basically in this one video. I will be making a video telling you guys how to fill out the DS-160 form, which is the embassy form. Because some people might get a little confused about that as well. I did one for the B1, B2 visa, but I did not do one for the J1 visa. So I will be telling you guys that in the next video, how to go about filling out that, even though it's going to be like self-explanatory in a sense. The agency will walk you through it as well. But for a better explanation, I will be doing that for you guys as well. So I hope that this video was informative, and for those of you who will be at camp this summer, at the Starlight camp this summer, see you there. Looking forward to like working with you guys, and looking forward to like having one of the best experiences ever with you guys. And I hope that when you guys come with one aim and one determination, which is to change lives, be an example to others, work hard, have fun, and just make new memories. Once again, thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and see you guys in my next video.